Hello, welcome back to our stream. We are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. Yesterday, we worked on something quite good. Windows app for our automation platform that we've been working on in the past days. And the way we created it, we used Electron to be able to create this platform. Remember, our platform has been built with JS, which is typically a TypeScript web application. So we were getting it and bundling it because currently we were accessing it from the local host, and we have bundled it up using electrons, because when you come here and you search into you can be able to see it. So this is our app. This is what we worked on yesterday. So when we click on it, let's open it. Here we are viewing it through the local host, which is quite good. From the app itself, which is quite good. Yes, it has loaded very well. So this is our app that we've already finalized with most of the functionality. So what we are working on, we are ensuring that this particular app is set up very well as a Windows app, and then we are going to handle it to the client very well. This app and all the processes that we've worked on them using basic the IDE that we've worked with, Google Anti-Gravity. But when it comes to the LLM models that we've used basically Gemini 3.1, and then we've used Cloud Sonnet 4.6, which is quite a very good journey. But now when we worked on this, we got some issues. Initially, we could be able to view our itineraries with the photos, but right now these photos are not being fetched, which is something that we need to sort out. So I believe it's going to be the first element that you're going to work on. Also, we want to work on the caching system to ensure that when we load our app, I think we opened quite many of these, so let's close them and be able to open it. So this is what we worked on yesterday. We were able to create this. So you see, we can as an app, because this is the app right here, it has its own icon, but also we can view it using the local host, because earlier we were viewing it using the local host. Now we've bundled it to the app. I'm going to call upon the people who have not yet subscribed to subscribe to the stream. Subscribe is quite important. When you subscribe, it gives me the vigor to continue showcasing what I can do with these apps. So let's get right into this, because currently after we installed we got a challenge. Earlier we could view the photos that have been installed with our itineraries, which are stored on our Firebase storage. This is where we create the itineraries from. When you check out this section, we are supposed to view these images, but currently we are not able to view them. Actually, when you also click on the Explorer and you go to explore the itineraries, you can't view the images, which is that we are supposed to be able to view these, because these images are coming from Firebase, so they're supposed to be fetched swiftly. So that is the issue that we are working on. So this is the error that I'm getting. Let's pick and go into this Let me reduce on the music then, so that we can be able to. You can't get me very well. If you can't get me, please click on the so that I get to know that the audio is quite clear. Yesterday we had some audio issues, but I believe today it's quite sorted, so we are going to sort this out. First of all, we are going to check on the earlier implementation plan that we had yesterday. Let's go into this implementation plan. There were two issues, which the issue was of the images, which was not sorted. Let's get it. Request work on these two issues. So let's paste that there. Then let's get this one, which is the other issue. So the two issues that we are working on, basically, it is the issue of loading the images very well from Firebase, because currently we are not. We had them earlier, but when we bundled it to the Windows app, that is where we got the distortion from. But also we want to create a caching system so that when these images are loaded, we don't have to reload them from Firebase each and every time. So these are the two issues that we are going to work with. Let's give the instruction. Now, so let's continue to work on these two issues that I've highlighted. We created an implementation plan, the last implementation plan that you created, and we were supposed to work on 4 issues. The other 2 issues, the first issue that was sorted for the PDF was sorted, but when it comes to the issue for ensuring that the images that are stored on our Firebase storage are fetched very well for the itineraries and throughout the is not well sorted out. Currently, we cannot be able to view these images when we are using the local host, but even when we are using our app, the images are not viewable. That means the logic for fetching these images from currently dysfunctional and distorted. So first of all, we are going to ensure that we work on this issue. I want you to re-examine the earlier implementation plan. Let's first of all copy this, because I'm going to save it somewhere. Re-examine the earlier implementation plan. The only issue that was worked on, it was the PDF logic. The PDF logic now works well. But for the other issues, the 3 issues that we have, they are not sorted. So that means you are going this particular implementation plan to first of all work on the issue of fetching the images, creating a caching system for these images to be fetched very well, but also to ensure that for each and every functionality page and on other pages works very well. So we need to ensure that all the elements that are connected to our Firestore system in terms of the functionalities work very well to fetch the necessary information and load it on the necessary pages effectively well. So that our Firestore rules as they are set up and all our functionalities throughout the app, and ensure that everything is quite working well. So create a new implementation plan. I'm going to look into it. If it's quite set out very well, then we shall go on to make these changes. So let's continue that. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, because when you subscribe, I believe you're going to join this community where you're going to get access to how we get to do everything when you're viewing. You're going to also have the chance to get further notifications for all the new videos that we are going to drop and all the new live streams that we are going to drop. So for that, let's continue to work on this, because I believe we can solve each and everything very well. So let's close this. So this is what I'm trying to solve. The images are not being fetched. Yes, the Firestore rules earlier, the images were working, because when you view this, it's not supposed to appear like this. It is supposed to appear. Let me go back here. I have some downloads that I made from this particular screen downloads that I made. Let me look at them. Let me hope it's fully populated. Now this is the one that is missing, where the images are missing. We had downloads where everything was working very well. Let's look for those. I believe we shall view some. So this was the earlier view. This is the earlier view. These images are supposed to load because we already have them in Firestore. They're supposed to load this file for the itineraries. In terms of the detailed view, it is supposed to appear just like this. So that is what we are trying to solve, to ensure that these images appear very well, because they are supposed to appear in conjunction with other elements like the destinations, highlights, and where the clients are going to stay, their meal plans. The texts are being fetched very well. Each and every other item is quite set up very well, but for the images, they are not appearing, which we need to solve quite well. So let's work on that. For the people who have not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, because when you subscribe, you're going to join our community. It's quite a learning community where I get to share each and everything in my journey. Currently, we are creating various apps, and these apps are, our anticipation or our goal is to hit $500,000 from vibe coded apps, and we're going to do starting with creating and automating various apps from clients, but also we are working on this year we are going to work on 7 apps, and I'm going to live stream each and every app that we are going to work on. We are going to work on 7 apps, and we are going to launch those apps on the iOS App Store, and this by ensuring that users pay for subscriptions in these apps, and we are going to effectively move towards our goal to hit $500,000 from vibe coded apps. So if you want to see this journey unfold with us creating the web apps, with us effectively working apps, we already, one is already ready. We are finalizing with a few issues, and we are going to launch it. And then the other one that we're working on, which is an item location based app, we are also I can say 50% done with the work that we are supposed to do on it. We're also going to launch it. I think by the close of the year we are going to have launched 7 to showcase each and everything. I believe when I showcase it to you, it's going to be something that is quite good, a learning point for me, but also a learning point for the community. I want to assist as many people as I can with showcasing what I do and how they can emulate it and how they can be able to set up their workflows as they are working on. I'm also going to learn lots and lots from you. So please subscribe. Do not hesitate to subscribe and join this amazing community. So currently what we are creating an implementation plan. We want to solve the issue for the images, but also we want to solve the issue to ensure that each and every element on the reservation screen, which is currently loading as we would want it. Let's go to this reservation screen and look at it. So it's not loading quite well. Let's go to this one and I check it out from here. So when I'm here, I'm able to view these elements are quite viewable. Challenge is when I come to our abandoned app, I'm not able to view anything. These are elements that have been set up for our reservations, and they already stored in our Firebase, so they are supposed to load. I don't know why they are not loading. So those are the few issues that I'm working on to ensure that they are set up very well. So let's work on it and see how everything is going to pan out. We already have the. Let's proceed with working on this. So let's work on this. And ensure that everything is set up very well. Actually, when you come on, let's go on. Well, let's go on the itineraries here. Because earlier I presumed that maybe we could be from the app itself, but currently, even when you come here on the local host, it's still not loading, but I believe we are going to sort it out. Let's wait to fully execute on this task. We shall review it. So it's not working. I think we are going to try it with this Gemini, but if it's not fully materializing, then I believe we can switch to Cloud and try out Cloud. Cloud is a very good LLM. They have models that are quite good, like with their latest model, which is Cloud Opus 4.6, which is quite good. So let's first of all attempt it here. Then if we are not getting what we want, then it's switch to another model and retry this particular request. I'm going to request the people who have not yet subscribed to please subscribe, and let me know if my audio is quite clear. I've set up a poll. You can ask anything in the chat section. That everything is quite good. Let me know if my audio is clear. You can hit the chat section and let me know that the audio is clear. That will be very, very helpful. So, still getting an error with this. Well, let's. I think we have some problems here. We are going to push them to before we check the refinements, because the agent has completed to work on this. Let's send this to the agent and then run another request. Modifications that you've made, we made some errors, and I've sent these errors to you. Look into them as a senior engineer and be able to resolve them without distorting the logic and the changes that you've already made. So let's continue and resolve these errors, and then we can as well check on what we've worked on. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Like the video, because the more it's going to go out to even more people, for them to be able to view it and be able to join in on our live streams as we are creating these products. The reason as why I'm live streaming is because I want you to get a glimpse of how we get to Vibe Code, but most importantly, I want you to understand of how you can get the best output in terms of working with these agentic vibe coding tools. And I believe that the process is quite easy when you join a community that is gearing towards the same thing, which is quite amazing. The community, we've already hit 2,190 users who are following this journey. It's been just a few days, but we are growing very fast. So join the community, please, and do not hesitate to ask any questions. If you have any questions, please ask these questions so that I can get to know what could be the challenge. So I'm getting errors here when it comes to, which are quite many. I'm getting errors. So what we are going to do, we are going to log these errors here. Or better yet, we can reattempt. Before logging these errors here, we can reattempt this. Let's go and reattempt it. Go back here before creation of any implementation plan, and let's try to use cloud, because cloud might be quite good. So now, for the requested functionalities that we are trying to resolve, please ensure that you create a solid implementation plan, allow us to execute on these elements effectively well. But also for the already existing functionalities which are not hinted on in this request, ensure that you preserve it. So it should be noted in our implementation plan quite well. So let's use the master prompt structure. Now, for the new implementation plan that you are going to create based on the old one and what has been requested, ensure that you use the prompt structure document that I'm referencing, so that it's quite detailed, comprehensive, and can be able to resolve the issues that have been noted. Let's continue and ensure that we get to create a fresh implementation plan. So what I wanted to just have this recreation using Cloud Opus, because Cloud Opus is quite strong in terms of its approach to. So given that I was using Gemini Flash, which is not even Gemini 3.1 in terms of the creation of the plan, I wanted to redo the plan, and then I can retry it with Cloud, because I believe with Cloud I'm going to get a better match output, because its model is quite good and effective. Please like the video, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, so that you can become part of this amazing community. And I'm very thankful to the people who have already subscribed to this channel. It's quite an honor to be able to showcase each and everything to you, and ensure that you are able to get whatever you want to learn throughout the various coding streams that you are going to do in the future. So please do not hesitate to subscribe. Let's continue this work effectively well. I've zeroed down to redoing it because I believe it's going to in a much more better way, because everything is set up. We already have installed the software, which is good, because given that it's an internal tool, we wouldn't want it to be something that everyone is going to access. That's why we've installed it as a Windows app. But again, the things that are missing that we need to resolve when it comes to the local images that are stored within the app they are showing. That's why you're able to view this. That's why you're able to view this. These are images that are stored in our file, in our code base. But for the images that we are fetching from Firestore, they're not. Rather, from Firebase, they are not being loaded very well. So that is what we are resolving now. So please subscribe to this stream. Hit 200 likes for today, and at least more than 5,000 views on this particular stream. So please, the more you like the video, the more it's going to go out, the more chances of us achieving our targets in terms of the likes and the streams. And our aim is to ensure showcase what we get to do to many people as we can, because that is the right way of doing things. When you get to share what you do and teach it to other people, I believe much more important as the product that you're building. And for me, it is one thing that I've zeroed down to be able to share what I know with you in a much more better way. So we have quite a fresh plan. So let's proceed. Each and every element is sorted out. One of the challenges that we are having is that we are not able to view the images, but also the information on the reservation screen is not being fetched, which is quite disturbing. So we want to approach this in a very the created implementation plan is quite solid, and the reason as why I love these kinds of implementation plans, because they are quite solid. Actually, when it comes to the orchestration of what you're going to do in terms of coding, I prefer you use Cloud Opus, because Cloud Opus is very good with the plan orchestration when you're creating going to execute. And then if you prefer to execute it with Cloud, that is good. But if you prefer to execute it with another model, let's say Gemini or Qwen, I believe you can do it, but for me, cloud is the best out there when it comes to coding plans or any plan that you're going to use to build any tool. But also when it comes to the execution, it is the best tool that you can ever get with the execution. So you would prefer to use it when it comes to tasks that are quite complex, but also when it comes to tasks that are quite minor, you can use it for the orchestration to any other model that you can use with the execution. So you can try to use them concurrently, and you test out and you see which model is quite good. But also you can even test out some free models with the use of OpenCloud. I've recently installed OpenCloud, not for this stream, but I'm testing it out on various products, and it's something that is quite good. OpenCloud is I can say it is the version of the newly leaked cloud tool that was sent out. So someone worked on it to produce OpenCloud, which is quite also an amazing tool that you can use to test out if you're starting out. You can use it because with models like Qwen 3.6, which are free on OpenRouter, you can be able to access that and use it effectively. Well, if you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe and join our channel. Someone is asking if I made 500 and 250, rather $50,000, 250. Well, so what I can let you know is that we are on that journey, and the goal is to be able to hit those figures from the apps that we are working on. It is quite amazing because the most important thing that you know, the reason as to why I'm working in public, to show you that first of all you can build these apps. The other thing is that you can get, and the other element about our process is that you can know how to work with these tools in a vibe coding kind of way. You don't have to really have some technical abilities when it comes to creating these apps, but what you're going to do and how you're going to approach it is that when you look at my approach, you look at this particular implementation plan that I've created. I have a master prompt that I use. So for each request that you're going to see me give to the agent, it's going to restructure it into solid plan. And when I have a solid plan, the execution becomes quite easy. Execution is quite easy because you're going to really restructure it. The agent is going to first of all restructure it into a request that is on an engineer, rather a senior engineer level, and then it's going to execute it from that point of view instead of just using the generic request might have put in. So yes, you can put it in, but what you would want to restructure it into a much more explained and engineer level structured prompt, so that with this prompt the agent can really work with it as a senior engineer. So those are some of the things showcase as I'm working, because I believe these are things that people who are building out these tools need to thrive. And there could be less people who are showcasing their processes in real time. Yes, someone can come on their channel, they tell you they have created an app, they have created it, but what you get to see them only showing you the results of what they have created. And with me, I don't want to just showcase the results. I want to showcase the process, because I believe the process is much more important as the results. So what you're going to get, seeing how the process unfolds, and at the end seeing the results of what we've worked on, which is for me a learning point for each and everyone who is part of the community, me and the other members of the community, people who are subscribing, to enhance this community, to support it, and to support this particular, that each and everyone benefits effectively as they get to view the subsequent streams that we are going to showcase on the platform. So please, on that note, that is the reason as why I'm going to call upon you to subscribe. I believe it's going to be quite wonderful. It's a wonderful journey for me. So far, we've live streamed for over 34 days. It has been a very wonderful experience. I've learned lots of things that I'm learning from you. So do not hesitate. If there is something that you want to share about the process, something that you want to learn, hit the comment section. The more you engage in the comment section, the more you like this video, the more this video is even going to go out to more people, the more we are going to grow this community. At least we need to grow this community. By the time we hit $500,000 from these apps, we would have grown this community to a tune of at least 200,000 subscribers. So that is my target, to hit 200 subscribers. So please do not hesitate to join the platform by subscribing. So I'm waiting for the agent to complete, because we had quite a lengthy, we were working on very many components. We were working on components that are quite many, as you can see them from the implementation plan. So I'm waiting for the agent to accomplish this, and I can view what it has done. So let's continue. So if you have any questions, please, you can hit the comments. I will be glad to answer these very well. So let's go and check on what we've been working on. I believe it's a better practice for us to rerun this app. Let's rerun it in the terminal. So let's kill this terminal. So that we run the app. We would want to see how our changes are being effected. Let's rerun this so that we can check. Meanwhile, as we are running this, let's close this. So someone asked the model that I'm using. I'm using Cloud for this particular request. I was using Cloud, but I'm going to review what Cloud has done, and then because we had quite a lengthy request, so I'm going to review what Cloud has done for this particular request, and we can evaluate if the request was executed well. Because I believe for the changes we have to first see them here, and when it comes to the installation, we have to uninstall the app and then reinstall it for us to view the latest. First of all, wait for it to load so that we can check out the changes that have been made. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe and support me in this journey. I'm on the journey and I want to hit $500,000 from revenue that I've received. The way I'm receiving this revenue is that I'm automating platforms for several businesses, and they are paying me for those services. But also I'm working on apps that I'm going to launch myself, and I'm going to market them to get to the tune of $500,000. So please, the initial support that you can offer the channel is by subscribing, because when you subscribe, it's quite a very good thing, so that I can be able to get to that milestone. I'm not able to view the changes, but however, I believe we've made to Firestore. So before we let's dismiss this and accept these changes. I need to update our Firestore rules and reload this app. So let's first of all go and update these rules. Let's get them and go and update the rules. Let's go here, because that is going to give us quite the right check to understand if everything is set out very well. Please like the video. Like the video, then it's going to go out to more people. Chat in the chat section if there is anything that you want to talk about in terms of your coding experience. Please talk about it. And yeah, someone is inquiring if I'm paying anti-gravity. Yes, I'm. But my experience when it comes to anti-gravity, when it comes to the paid plan, yes, it's good. But recently, actually in the recent month, the tokens that we received in terms of, because I was paying the initial plan of $19, the tokens have been lessened. So it's very hard for us to go on unless you are going to have to make a payment, maybe to the plan of $24, which is also good. But currently, what I would advise with any tool, what I would advise, if you are able to pay at least the initial plan for cloud, which is also $20, I guess it's around $19 or $20, or maybe if you can pay the cloud subscription of $100, and that would be very efficient, at least to allow you complete on any app that you're working on, and then you have the allowance to work with without many limitations. It's going to work for you effectively. Well, yes, I'm paying Google Anti-Gravity, but I would advise and then use cloud within Google Anti-Gravity, which is a much more better approach. So let's send this to the agent, because it's an error that we are getting. Let's send it to the agent, run it, and then try to rerun the process. Let me go here, get these rules. Now that we've the rules have changed, let me recopy them here from here. The backend. Some people get challenges with the backend, but for me, my kind of experience working with Firebase has been quite swift, because given that Google Anti-Gravity is an agent that has been built on Google, and it has been tested on the backend, which is Firebase. It's quite easy for me to build out when I'm working with these apps and setting them up with the option of Firebase for storage and authentication and other server-side related needs. So now that it has been set up very well, let me save this and let's go back. I'm going to kill this terminal. I'm going to relearn it here. Let's rerun it effectively well. Please like the video, subscribe, and support me. When you subscribe, you're supporting my journey. For you to be a part of this journey, to be a part of this community, and to keep me accountable, it is one of the most amazing things that I request from you, because I believe the journey will unfold and we shall hit those figures. But you being part of the journey, it is also quite amazing. So please subscribe and do not hesitate to like the video, so that we push it to even more people who need to view this, who need to be part of this journey throughout the process, which is going to make the process even much more enjoyable. I'm not really someone who looks at a product just like how it is. I'm not someone who thinks that the product is the most important thing. For me, I believe the product and the process go along, is as important as the product. So we are still not getting so I'm not able to view these elements when it comes to the itinerary view. I can view these elements. Let me try to make a new entry here. Rather, let me create a new item here. Call it permits. Ensure that it's paid. Call it a fully reserved. Let me try this. So let me just put any image. Save this. So this one is working. Elements are being set up to load this document. Let me click on it. It can open very well here. So that means when it comes to the reservation, this element of the it's only the screen that is not fetching these elements effectively well. Images are not being loaded. Let's go to the accommodation. Okay, we are going to sort it. So let's continue here. But before we continue, I wanted us to also check on something. Images that are set up here for this particular properties submission, but let's submit another call it Hey you, Safari launch. Safari launch. So I just want to test this one out. And see if the elements are being stored in Firestore for this. Because if I don't it's going to be very hard for me to know whether it's fully working. I'm seeing the images, but I'm not yet sure if these images, let's add the amenities. Let me upload an launch any. Let's go here in our folder. So if you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe and support this amazing journey, these apps. Let's just get any image from these. So you see we are getting an issue, not able to upload this. So that is what I wanted to check. On we have an issue because currently you can add everything, but you can't upload the image. So I wanted to, let's do an audit. Now when it comes to all elements where we are supposed to upload images and fetch them, I believe these screens are quite different. We have on the itinerary build-up, we upload images which we are able to view on these itineraries on the stored itinerary. Also on the accommodation page, we upload images using the added property form, and we are able to view these images. Currently, when I tested out on the accommodations form, I was not able to upload images. But also, when it comes to the stored itineraries, still the images are not yet visible. So I want you to do an audit this time around for the issue of the images. These images are set up very well to give you the storage rules for the images. I'm going to give you the storage rules. Now that you've fixed rules for Firestore, I'm going to give you rules for storage. You look into them. I'm going to reference them, and then you try to verify where the when it comes to all the images that we submit, that we upload in our app, we need to be able to upload them. That functionality needs to work. So we need to sort it out so that when we are adding the property, we are able to upload the images. We need to sort that out. We also need to sort out logic to ensure that these stored in our Firebase storage correspond very well with the rules in Firestore, and we are able to fetch them very well to our app. So let me reference the Firebase storage rules file. You look into it. You look into our current Firestore rules, the two, and ensure that the upload process works very well. Also, the retrieval process for these images needs to work very well. So let me reference this. So now with this, you're going to create a fresh implementation plan. a fresh one to resolve this issue. So as a senior engineer, look into these files, try to identify the discrepancies that we are getting in terms of why the stored files are not, we cannot be able to retrieve them using Firestore rules, and with that propose the necessary changes that are supposed to be made so that we fix this effectively, so that the upload process works for each and every screen where we are making uploads, and also the retrieval process for these images works very well. I hope of the set rules in Firestore. So as you're making refinements to this particular, sure that you use the prompt structure that we have in our master prompt document that I'm referencing here. Provide me the implementation plan. It should be quite comprehensive and addressing each and every issue based on the two rules files, the Firestore rules and the storage rules. Look into it, and I will approve and we proceed to make the changes. So let's look into the two rules, because the Firestore rules were refined and we are still getting the same issue. So I wanted to also give it the storage rules so that we can see if there are any we are getting. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this video, like it. My goal is to ensure that we hit 200 likes on this video. When we hit 200 likes, I'm presuming that I'm going to live stream for something like 4 hours, but if we hit 200 likes, I'm going to ensure that we live stream for more 2 hours, which will make it 6 hours. So if you want me to continue, and then for the video to reach out to even more people, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for liking the video. Let's continue to work on that. So as the agent is working on that, we shall continue to evaluate how it's turning out. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a fresh implementation plan, because we have rules for storage in Firebase storage. Let me show you how where our files are stored. So this is our Firestore. These are our rules that we've set up. So we've set up rules for each and every functionality that we have in our, so you see they are quite marked for the evaluations, for the emails, for the tracking, workboard activities, the itineraries, reservations, properties, and also for the authentication. Set up rules for authentication as an admin, authentication as a normal user, because we have different sections where admins log in and they monitor the activities that other users are doing, and then for the authentication of other users. But we've also set up storage for our files, because we upload quite a few files when we are creating itineraries, but also in other elements where we are maybe making reservations. We upload a few files like receipts that are stored there, and these are the folders that we have. On the reservations, we upload quite a few files. On the work evidence, a few files. On the profiles, we add images, which is quite just a simple way of someone adding an image to their profile. And then we have a logo where we upload the logos on the itineraries, and also the images that we upload on the itineraries. When you look at the images that we've uploaded, when you look, they already have these images. They already have these images stored very well. You can look at them. The images are stored here. Which is good. So the challenge that we are getting, these images are not being fetched, which is something that we would love to solve. We need to ensure that these images are fetched very well. So let's go back here. Let's proceed with 3.1, because cloud is not currently executing what we want. Let's change the model to Gemini 3.1 and we'll be able to execute on that. So earlier we were able to fetch each and every image. It was visible, but now we are not. The visibility is kind of distorted. So we have tasked the agent to look into our rules and try to resolve that so that we can be able to retrieve these images quite well. Let me continue. Task the people who have not yet subscribed. Please subscribe, because when you subscribe, I'm also very tuned to ensuring that I'm accountable to each and every subscriber who has subscribed, to ensure that we hit the figures that we've set out for ourselves. We are going to hit the $500,000 mark very swiftly, because the plan is underway for the apps that we are going to work on. They are also underway. We are going to work on mostly apps that don't require because we've worked on one, which is the AI tutor app, but for the rest of the apps that we are going to work on, we have like two which are going to mostly use AI models in terms of delivering the solution to users. But the rest of the apps that we are going to work on, they are quite simple apps, but we are mostly creating useful apps that allow to have a very abundant life in terms of the various activities that they are embarking on. So please, to be able to view this journey unfold, you don't want to miss out on that. Please subscribe, keep me accountable, go in the comment section, ask questions, comment, like the video, and I believe with that support I'm effectively going to hit so let's continue. Now that we have the plan, let's continue. Let's proceed for the agent to execute on this plan quite well. Let's continue. So now the images that are quite visible, these are the images that are stored locally, and that is not something that we would want to have. We want it to fetch images which are on Firebase, because as the platform tends to grow and will be using it, it will be a challenge to store images locally, so we wouldn't really want that. We want to keep our functionality where we are fetching images from Firebase, from our Firebase storage folder. So let's work on this and fix it very well. Let's wait for the agent to fix this. And ensure that the images are fetched. They have to be fetched because most of the other functionalities are being fetched. So I believe it's a configuration issue. We need to configure So let's go on to work on this. We can review it after. So if you have the images and it's just a loading process, then that is something that is quite executable. So we need to see it work on our local host, and then you can try and evaluate if it will work for our Windows app. Let's wait for it to finish up, and then we shall review it. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the stream so that we can continue to grow our community more better way. So let's wait for the agent to accomplish. It's working and making refinements to different files, which is quite understandable. So we need to wait out and see if this has been executed very well, and then we can review. What has been worked on. So this is the issue was for the images that are given that we had made sample electron, that's why we were getting discrepancies. So we need to recheck on our app, rerun it, and then check it out. still we cannot view the images. So let me try to check this out on let's kill this and I will run it. Then I'll check it out. So let's run it and first of all run this one. Try to evaluate these changes from here. Images are still not loading. Let's try to upload an image here. Let's go down here. We try to upload an image so that I check it out and see. Still getting an issue. So you're not able to copy it from the copy icon. Let me copy it like this. Take it here. You also try to upload image using the itinerary. That is also good. So the itinerary builder. Let me try to upload a header image here. Want to ascertain which elements work in terms of the uploads. So it's saying it failed to upload. It also doesn't work. Let's go to the reservations. Let me try to add an item and upload here. Check out. This one works very well. I think we are going to use this one. Works very well. Because I can view the items here, they are being fetched. Each works. Let me go to the reservations in the Firestore, and some elements when it comes to the reservations. So it's Firestore reservations. Okay, let's go back. So these are the issues that we still have. Currently, when it comes to these screens, I cannot be able to upload any photo. The itinerary builder is one. Then the accommodations screen, add property form, and still I cannot view the images on our stored itineraries. All the images on our stored itineraries are not being retrieved. However, I was checking on the reservation page, on the itinerary view, toggle view, I was able to, when it comes to adding an item, the form for adding an item, I'm able to upload the documents very well, and I'm also able to retrieve them and view them very well. When I click on the button to view them, I'm able to view them very well. So that means this particular logic on our reservations screen is working. But on the same screen, on the board view, the look at it, which is here. The elements that were submitted using the new booking form stored in Firestone under reservations are not being fetched and displayed in our app. So let's put in a request. So what I want you to do with this information, first of all, I want you to that particular part of the app, which is the toggle side of the itinerary on the reservations page, where the logic is working very well. And I want you to observe and identify on that very screen the side of the reservation, rather the side of the board where the elements are not being fetched, which are already submitted in terms of reservations and are sitting in Firestone. I also want you to look at logic and compare it to the itinerary screen in terms of itinerary screen, the itinerary builder in terms of uploading the image, and also in terms of retrieving the uploaded files on the itinerary view screen for both the itinerary detailed view screen and the simple view screen, where the images are not fully being fetched, yet the other information is being fetched. I also want you to look at the work that we have on the itinerary toggle view and compare it to the accommodation screen, where we are not able to upload the image on the add property form. And from that basis, I want you to use the working logic as a refresh each and every part of our logic for uploading images on the screens where the upload functionality is not working, and on the screens where we are supposed to view these images that are uploaded where they are not being displayed. Look at it and ensure that you use this reference where the images are being uploaded and all other documents, and they are being retrieved very well to refine what is not working. So let's reorganize this particular request to make it quite good. So for this particular request, it's quite comprehensive, but I want you to reorganize it using the prompt structure that we have in the master prompt document that I'm referencing. You need to ensure that each and every element, you are going, all the elements that you're going to work on, list them and ensure that each and every element is clearly and extensively detailed in the implementation plan. So when it comes to the modifications that you are going to make, you need to ensure that in the note section on the implementation plan, you should note that you are not going to tamper with any other logic that is not requested in this particular request. You are only going to add that you are going to list that are requested here. So please create that comprehensive implementation plan. I'm going to review it and then we go on to make the modifications in our app. Let's go. Please subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, because I believe when you become part of this journey, it's going to be an enriching process. We are currently revising logic for in our app. Some of the screens, like when it comes to the itinerary, I think it's the reservation screen on the itinerary toggle side, we are able to upload files, but for other sections of the app you're not able to upload and make these files and be able to retrieve them. Like for the itineraries, in the itinerary builder we are not able to upload the logo, and the images are not being fetched for the information that you already have in Firebase. So we are trying to refine this particular element. If you've not yet liked the video, please, I'm going to call upon you, please like the video so that it goes out. If you have any comments, please go in the chat section and let me know. Hello, someone was asking how I document the code. Mostly for me the process, how I go about this process is quite simple. I have set out certain markdown files. In fact, if you are using cloud, there skills, but given that when it comes to Google Anti-Gravity we don't have skills, I have my own kind of skills that I've already set out. So the way I do it, when I'm giving in a request, I give in a request, it's simple, quite a simple request, and with that I expect the agent to refine this request into the prompt structure that I use. And with that, I use that refined request to proceed and make modifications to any screen or any new feature that I'm pulling out. And then I have the walkthrough. So after I've worked on several elements, the markdown file of the documentation of each and every functionality that I've worked on, which makes the work easy. If I'm referring to any screen in the app, it makes the work quite easy. But the process for me is about ensuring that I do not use generic prompts so that when I give in a prompt, it might be a simple prompt, but the agent reworks on that prompt, modifies it into quite something granular, and I can show you the structure of my master prompt. It's quite, when you give it to the agent, it's going to work on it, and it's going to give you quite a solid structure. So this is my master prompt. You've had me reference it many times. So it has certain, we have the task section. So here for the task, you're going to clearly describe what you want to get done in simple terms. Then the context. In the context, you're going to provide all the relevant background information about what you need this agentic engineer to really execute. Going to be detailed. You're going to mention each and everything. And then when it comes to the issue, there could be issues. You might have worked on a certain functionality, and then there are issues that you want to refine, just like what you're working on. Then it refines that quite well for the task. And then it's going to package that request into a solid request that you're going to put out. And then for the note, the note section is quite simple. You're going to add constraints. You're going to add any constraints or specific instructions. Sometimes you're working on your app in a specific and you wouldn't want it to restructure all the logic and the functionality. So it's going to single out that specific part of the code that you're working on. And after that, you're also going to give exemplars, and exemplars can come in terms of the particular code base that you're working on, or the particular code snippet that you're working on. So you can reference those exemplars or those examples of the code, so that the agent understands what specific code are you trying to work on, how are you trying to refine it, which makes the process quite good and easy. Then the other issue comes to the persona. The persona is the assistant. It's going to define a role for itself. The agent defines a role and how it's going to function. And from the persona, we have the format. So it's going to specify the format of how it's going to fully, if it's going to fully rewrite the code, if it's going to just make modular code refinement. So it's going to work on certain blocks. It's going to really refine that. And then also we have a tone. Do you want it to work as a professional? Would you want the coding agent to execute on it as maybe from the focus of a senior engineer? Do you want it to be concise? So the focus is also execution. So that is how for each and every request that you see me give out, it is restructured using this master prompt that I've been going through, which is quite fully complete and solid. So as you can look at it, structure, a simple request, but as you can see, it has been restructured into something quite solid, good. But then it has not followed our master prompt structure. We are going to reference this because we want it to follow the master prompt structure. So when it's this is why this is the request that you're going to put in. Thank you for the initial implementation plan that you've given. It's quite solid and good, but I would love you to look at a prompt markdown document that I've referenced and look at its structure. And I want you to restructure this particular request that you've given me into this kind of prompt structure. From the tone, rather from the task element, which is the tone, to ensure that all the elements are quite referenced and extensively explained, so that when we are going to execute, we execute on something that is quite solid and good. So please restructure our implementation plan. I will revise it. I'll continue to execute and work on the changes that we need to work on. So let's go on to work on those, because I believe the restructuring is quite good for us. For the people who have just joined, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe to this stream. Join this coding various apps, web apps and mobile apps, to be able to hit $500,000 from the revenue that you are going to get from these apps. I'm currently restructuring this request. We received a request. It's a very good and solid plan, but for me, for each and every plan, I trust my master prompt. I always want to follow within those parameters. Yes, the implementation plans that have been structured for Google Anti-Gravity, they're quite good, but I rephrase them and rephrase them and rephrase them to ensure that they are quite solid and I can use them consistently. Also, in terms of consistency, when you have a prompt, the agent is going to understand how you structure each and everything, and when you execute on something in your code base, you're going to have that consistency in terms of the results. So that is why I try as much as possible to explain extensively, but I restructure each and every request. I don't want to just put in a request explanation that I've given and then I go on to implement. That wouldn't really give me the best results. So I also want you to look at it after the video. I think I'm going to share this particular master prompt in a link. After the video, you will be able to review and look at it. You can copy it. I'm going to reference it. You can be able to copy it and maybe try to use it in your coding structures and see how it's going to work out for you. So now that we have it, so you see, this is what I was explaining, which is the simple task of what you're going to execute on. You have the context. The context details each and everything from the files that are involved, the reservation file, the Firestore rules, accommodation, the itinerary builder, the cached image. Then it explains the issue. It outlines the issues that you're finding in your, and then the granular request, what it is going to refine, what it's going. So we have the first request. It's going to fix the disappearing reservations. It's going to stabilize the upload logic. It's going to stabilize the retrieval logic, and then the notes, the things that it is not supposed to tamper with. We also have the exemplar quite well. The persona, when it comes to the persona, you see how it has set up the persona. The persona says you are a senior Next.js plus TypeScript engineer specializing in Firebase integrations, unified desktop experiences of Electron, and resolving obscure local CORs errors through robust front-end engineering. So the persona has been personalized to this specific request. So we also have the format, the clean and production ready code replacements for what we are working on. The tone, it's going to be professional. So it's quite, and that is how we restructure each and every request. So let's go on to proceed and allow this to work out. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe so that we can continue to grow our community, where we get to learn how we prompt these agentic and how we can be able to create complete products from them, products that we can work on for other people, but also for ourselves if we have ideas that we want to execute on and effectively be able to earn from them. So please subscribe if you've not yet. Hit the subscribe, like the video, because when you like the video, it's going to continue to go out to even more people who will watch it and effectively benefit from it. So let's wait on that as I answer some questions here in the chat. So let's continue. So now at least the agent is very sure when we proceed with the implementation plan and accept it, it is very sure on the particular code snippets where it's going to make changes because they are listed here in the context. The reason as why you just can't use the generic instruction, you're going to waste lots of tokens. When you're working with an agent, most of these agents are not, yes, when you're working with an agent like Cloud is quite good, but when you're working with agents like Gemini, that means when you're dealing, you're working and you're giving instructions, your instructions have to be quite detailed for you to get what you're able to save up on the tokens as you tend towards completing whatever task that you have set out for yourself or whatever app that you might be working on. So that is why I use the master prompt each and every time. Even when I receive the implementation plans that are not quite set out well, I try to re-prompt and get that I can use because I know agents or artificial intelligence is really going to work for you when you have a huge and well explained context for each and every request that you put in for whatever tool that you're working on. I've understood very well because I work with different tools, even with simple tasks that I always execute in my workflow, which are not related to coding, but it comes down to the request that you are going to put in, which is quite important. So let's work on this and then review it. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe so that for the subsequent streams you can be able to get access to them quite easily. So now let's wait the agent to proceed. It's finishing up. The work. So let's these are the files that were refined. So when you go back here, let's you to view it. When you go back here, you can look at these files. These are the only files that were refined and they align with what we have here. So the agent didn't go into any other file to try and distort. So it identified where the problem was and then it went to execute using those particular files. Makes the work quite easy for you. Instead of every time it goes back to make refinements, it distorts what it already has set out. So what you're going to get is that it's going to only focus on making refinements to that specific code that you've set out. So now that we have the refinements, these storage rules that have been this is what we have. Let's accept them. These storage rules and copy them and take them to our Firebase. Let's go to Firestore here. So let's let me recopy these and be sure pasting the right info. So let's add them here and republish. Let's publish those. Let's kill this terminal. We are going to rerun it. So let's try to rerun that. I think we've opened up. We're going to remove some so that we can be able to load it very well, so that I can check the changes. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the stream and like our videos if you find this and how we vibe code useful. Join our community, and I believe it's going to be quite an enriching experience for you as we continue to showcase what we do. Now we have issues with this. So we have issues with this. We are going to resolve it. So let's save that. Let's get the other, because there are two. So let's put in another request. So when I try to access the itineraries screen, I got these two particular errors after the modifications that you made. So I want you to look at them, analyze them as engineer, and ensure that we can be able to resolve these issues that we are getting, but the resolution of the issues should not distort the prior logic that we've already set up and refined. So look into it and work on it swiftly. View this screen without any errors. So let's work on it and So let's go back and wait for the compilation to finish up. Let's go to the reservation screen, because one of the challenges that we had earlier, these are being fetched. Currently, they are fetched very well. They are viewable, which is has been resolved. Quite good. Let's go here. For the images, I believe we are still having a challenge. We are not able to. Then let me try to build a new itinerary, a fresh one. Let me try to build a fresh one. Let's get these, because they are already there. Let me try to re-upload these images for these days. Yeah, I think we're still for this issue. And this is the error that we are getting. So we need to get the right kind of error. We need to configure this to be able to return the right. Let's copy this. Let me go and try it out in terms of uploading the image. Just test out that functionality, see how it unfolds. We try it. And you try it. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Do not hesitate to subscribe. As we get to work on these apps. So I'm getting these errors, which is quite So now when it comes to the reservation screen, I can ably view the reservations. They have been fetched very well. I can view them. But when it comes to the issue of uploading images, it is quite persistent. On the itinerary builder, currently, I cannot upload any image when I'm adding images to the on the header. I can also not upload the image But also when it comes to the accommodation screen, I cannot make an upload of the image on the add property form. So this is the response that I get when I the image. I'm going to put it below. So the response returns that an unknown error occurred. So I'm not able to even review what occurred. So we need to fix this so that on the itinerary builder, we are able to upload these images. On the upload screen, under accommodation, which is the add property form where we upload the image, we need to be able to add these images, but also we need to view these images that we've added. So before you make an implementation plan which is quite solid, I want you to look at the logic that we have under the reservations screen, where we add the reservation screens on the itinerary toggle view, where we add the item. So on this particular form for adding an item, when we upload a document, it is uploaded very well and it is viewable very well. So first of all, look at that logic and give it to me. That is, first of all, you're not going to do anything. You're going to first of all look at it and give it to me. Then the next step after you giving it to me, the next task is going to be to look at the discrepancy in between that logic, because it works. In between that logic and the logic that we have on the itinerary builder, on the itinerary view screen, and the logic that we have on the accommodation for adding an image and for viewing these images. First of all, do that before we create any implementation plan. So I think we first of all need to analyze this logic even before to understand it, because we have logic that is working for these elements, we have logic that is not working. So we need to analyze those two elements and strike a balance. For the people who have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Do not hesitate to subscribe, because when you subscribe, I believe it's going to be a very, very good experience as we continue to set up these apps very well. So you see some images, but again, when it comes to these images that I uploaded using my itinerary build, I cannot view them, which is quite disturbing. So let's look into it and so now we've identified the working logic and logic that is not working. So let's resolve this. Now that you've identified, you've made identification of the working logic uploading the images and retrieving the images. I want you to ensure that for the itinerary builder screen and for the accommodation screen, the logic been failing is resolved to ensure that we use the same kind of upload logic for uploading images and documents, and the logic for retrieving them. So now that you have a proper understanding of that, create a fresh detailed implementation plan for executing this very well, and reference the working logic, because you already have it and you've noted out the specific logic in terms of code snippets. You're going to add them to the implementation plan to ensure that we resolve it under the itinerary builder for adding the images, and also for the itinerary view screen, both the simple view and the detailed view. And also for the accommodation, you're going to add the upload logic to the add property form, where we are uploading the documents. On the accommodation screen, we should add it so that it's retrieved and viewable on the accommodation screen. Now you are going to restructure the request, detailing each and every element that is requested extensively in a comprehensive implementation plan that follows the structure that we have in the master prompt document. So look at what is in the master prompt document that I've referenced, and then you restructure this full implementation plan to follow that prompt structure from the task down to the tone. Ensure that all elements are explained very well that are going to be restructured, plus the that are going to be worked upon. Also, under the notes section in the implementation plan, ensure that we only refine the specific logic that has been specified, and on these particular screens where we are going to make modifications, we do not tamper with any other logic that is in our app. So provide me with the implementation plan. I'm going to review it, and then we shall continue to make the modifications that we need to make. So let's continue with creating the implementation plan. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe and join the journey. It's quite a very good and thrilling journey as we go on to make these apps, and I believe that the figure that we've set out for ourselves, we shall be able to hit it effectively well. Let's get this edited implementation plan. Prior, the challenge that we had, one of our screens where it is on the reservations, but particularly on the itinerary view, we were able to add items to our Firestore and retrieve them very well. But then in the other parts where we are supposed to view our screens, we are not able to view them very well. So now we are making modifications, and what we want it to specifically work on the points where this code should be fixed. I think I've seen the parts that are failing, where we yes, this, I love this one. The agent has included the logic where code is failing. It has included logic that needs to be retrieved in terms of the retrieval. So let's continue. So now that we've set up the implementation plan very well, I'm going to task you to go on and implement it and ensure that the logic that has been failing on the particular screens that we've noted out works out very well. Review what you've worked on after you've made the modifications and refinements based on the implementation plan that you've set out. So now the way for me I prompt to the agents just like how you talk to any coding assistant, because I want it to fully get to know what I'm working on in details and for it to execute it. That is why I've been able to work on this particular tool, and I've completely each and every part of it this way. So this is the framework of how I prompt, how I go about it. I normally want to give detailed explanations, because the detailed explanations allow the agent to work with the context that is quite understandable. Some of the elements are quite complex. I'm going to work on certain issues that are quite complex, but if you give well and detailed explanations to whatever that you're working on, then it's going to become quite easy for the agent to know what particular part of the code it is supposed to refine and how it is, instead of just revamping each and every element of your screen each time you're trying to make modifications. The process becomes quite easy, but it gets from the context of how you are prompting and how you are dealing with it effectively. So that to me is also an added bonus. If you've not yet liked the video, it's a humble request. Please like the video, subscribe, so that you can be able to get subsequent access to subsequent streams and videos that we are going to launch on this channel. Our aim is to ensure that you can learn how to vibe code effectively well and do it in the most easy ways. And that is why I'm showcasing this process from now until when we shall be able to hit $500,000 in revenue from these vibe coded apps. So if you want to be a part of this journey, if you want to join it, if you want to ask questions, if you want to learn along the way, if you want to see how the process unfolds, you can please subscribe, like the video, because when you like it, it's going to go out to even much more people. Just like how you found it, please hit the like button and like it, subscribe, so that you can join the community. I believe we're going to continue to get much more better each and every day, and along the way we are going to learn and equip ourselves with much more better knowledge. So that is the reason as why I always call upon you to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking this video. I know when you subscribe and you like it, you're going to find it much more better to rediscover videos from our channel, and it's going to continue to be an enriching experience as the community grows and as we move towards the target goal of hitting $500,000 in revenue. So let's continue. We are making modifications to the itinerary view screen, the itinerary builder screen, and also the accommodations screen. The logic for making uploads and for viewing these elements, it was not quite set up. In one of our screens it was set up very well, so we used that screen as a reference because the logic was working very well in that particular screen. So I figured in that screen, then we might use we can use that screen as a reference to modify the other elements of our app where the very same logic is not playing out the way we want it. So those are the modifications that we are making, and the agent is working swiftly to resolve each and every thing. So let's wait for it to finish and then we can review it very well. So let's continue. So what I'm waiting for to accomplish, and then we can review what we've worked on, because the retrieval process has been quite difficult for most of the elements. So let's reload this. And review it. If you don't yet subscribe, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, like this video. When you subscribe, you're going to get access to more of our live streams whenever they drop. But we are also starting a new series of videos of how to vibe code effectively next week, so you would want to get access to those. They are going to be short videos that explain how we go about this process. So let's go here. Wait for it to compile. So let's first of all, we are not able yet to view. We'll try to upload another image here. Let's go here. So this is the error that I'm getting constantly. I'm not able to make the upload. But on the other note, let's try and accept this first of all. Refresh the terminal to see if these changes are infected. Okay, with this terminal. We restart it. this one. So, but before that, actually, let's kill this one too, and let's rebuild this, because I believe we could be running. Let's rebuild it and ensure that this new app with the new changes has been built, and then we it. So let's rebuild it, and then we can look at it and view how it unfolds. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe to the video so that you cannot miss out on the subsequent streams that you're going to make. Like it, subscribe, and so that you can get access to our subsequent streams. Every day we stream at around this time. We are always live and working on the various apps, and hitting $500,000 from these vibe coded apps. So if you want to be a part of the journey, if you want to see it unfold, if you want to effectively follow up on each and everything, please do not hesitate to let's wait for this build. Let's rebuild this app, because I'm trying to check the changes, but these changes are not affected and I'm not able to view them. So I've decided to rebuild it. This command npm run build, and then we can test out what has been refined. Let's rebuild them and test it out to view how it's going to work out. It's taking some time, but I believe definitely it's going to finish up. Let's wait for it to bundle up, and we can continue. Let's go to another terminal. Try to run the command and check it out. It's taking some time. Let me try to run this one. Let's continue. Still this is what we are getting. So we are going to fix it. Let's reload this. And view how it's going to work. And meanwhile, this is what I'm seeing. So yes, I got that kind of notification, but let's try to here for test out purposes and see how it works out. Same problem. let's copy this because it's a new reference setting. So we're also going to reference this because it's going to be quite important in our process. So now currently for the screens that you made modifications to implementation plan, I still cannot view the images. The images are not being loaded, and I can still not upload the images. But from the terminal, I've refreshed the information that is loading up in the terminal, and I've also error that I'm getting from our Next.js. When I try to upload an image, that is the error that I'm getting. It's saying I do not have permissions to upload the image. So look into the logs from the terminal, and also look into the error that I'm getting, and try to analyze and give me feedback on why the images are still not being loaded, or to upload these images. Also look into the current Firestore and storage rules to ensure that they fully align with the upload and retrieval processes that is necessary, and the logic that is specific screens that we refine. I want you to give me a report after that of what you've identified, what could be causing the persistence of the issue. Go on. I'm going to call upon people who have not yet subscribed. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the stream, join us, and be part of this journey where we are vibe coding apps. So this is the error I'm getting, which is kind of different from the other one. The other one could not return real information. It was saying the error is unknown, but at least we have an error that is quite informative. So we can, based on that error, and look at so already have resolution for what needs to be done. Now, now that you've identified where the issues are coming from, I want you to restructure or re-refine the implementation plan. It's going to base on the same kind of prompt structure that we have in the previous implementation, and include these new findings that you've found, where the issues are, and what you are going to resolve, and in what specific code snippet that you're going to make the resolutions from. Look at them, and then we shall be able to continue to make the modifications. So the resolution that we're trying to make is because we cannot be able to view various elements like images, and also upload them in some of the files. When we come to this screen specifically, this one is set out very well, because when you have uploads, you can be able to view them like that one. When I click on it, Let's go on another one where we have an item. So it's saying the file cannot be accessed. You need to be able to access them. So I've reviewed the implementation plan. Now, when it comes to the file sizes, you should ensure that for the file sizes, you give allowance of file sizes that are quite more large, at least for each and every file size. It should to upload file sizes of up to 30 MBs. So include, I've seen the logic that you're going to refine, it includes that. And also ensure that when it comes to the rules, the storage rules, over rules for storage. In terms of the logic, inside the logic, the file size allowance should align with the size that we have in the storage rules, so that we have allowance to make uploads for file size large, but go on to make the proposed implementation plan, also including this particular added refinement. So, wait for that.